And to go back to Menace to Society, how did you get that role?
Same audition. I was at a party with my main man, one of my partners, Alonzo Brown. He had seen me on Rock, and he was like, "Man, they got to see you because Tupac dropped out." And so he called the casting people, and they had me come in the next day. And I read, and they put me in it. I didn't know that was going to be such a big classic, you know. And I rolled through the hood and found me a haircut, and the rest is history, you know.
Speaking of Pac in real time, did you know about the fight he had with the Hughes brothers?
I heard I didn't know about it in real time. I heard about it afterwards, you know. And I did the Cali Love video with Pac, California Love. He's what a cool cat, man. He's a cool cat, you know. A lot of people still don't know that's me in all black that says, "Can you dig it?" in California Love, you know. But everybody thinks that's George Clinton. That's me. And me and Pac and Chris Tucker had a great time on the set, along with Dr. Dre and everybody.
How did that come about, you being in that video?
I was at a club. I was in a club, and Dr. Dre asked me if I wanted to do a music video. I didn't know who was in it, and they sent me the money right over, and I ended up in it and just had a great time, man. A lot of times, you know, people see me as the work that I've done as my relationships. Dre is friends with a lot of my friends, and he saw me in the club. He said, "Man, you just like I did the Usher video, Caught Up." You know, Usher. I never met Usher. Usher called casting. He's like, "I want Cliff Powell. Can we get him?" So a lot of times when cats that know your work, you don't even know they know your work. Like with Norbit, Eddie Murphy, they offered me a smaller role. I called my guy who knew Eddie. He said, "Man, Eddie loves your work." I was like, "Eddie Murphy loves my work?" He said, "Yeah, Eddie loves that pinky shit." And they put me in Norbit. You know, it's sometimes it happens like that. Depends on what level of power a person has. You know, Eddie Murphy's very powerful. So when Eddie said he was in it, I was in it. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, I had no idea that was you. I always thought that was George Clinton.
Yeah, that was me. They called me for Boondocks. And my man, Carl, that's the creator, one of the creators and writers, I said, "Bro, y'all ain't got to pay me. I do Boondocks." So a lot of times people follow your work, man, and it's just a blessing, you know? You build up a following, you know?
Yeah, you killed the Boondocks. But I want to go back to the Cali Love video. Was that your only interaction with Pac or no?
That was, no, I saw Pac one last time before he passed away. I was going into George's on Melrose, and he was sitting in his Rolls Royce. And I just say, "What's up, big dog, young man?" I just said, "Be careful out here." And he's always very pleased. "I got you, OG." He gave me a lot of love, man. I'm not exactly sure if he knew who I was, but he was always so kind. You know, he was a really nice, funny guy, man. You know, it's just a lot of factors as to why he's not here right now, you know? I told Carl, I said, "Y'all ain't gotta pay me, man. I love Boondocks." Man, you know, it was funny. You know, really funny stuff. Then I did what's the other one I did? Ah, I can't remember the other one Carl did right after Boondocks. It'll come to me. I've done so much. Then I did Big Smoke, San Andreas. My girl showed me that the other day. I didn't know how big that was. Black Dynamite. I did Black Dynamite. I was one of the voices of Black Dynamite too, you know. And then I did San Andreas. I just saw a clip of that the other day. I didn't even know it was me. I did that so long ago, you know. Man, I can't remember. It's been like 20 years ago. I can't remember how I got that. I think I got a call through John Singleton or somebody. They said, "Well, John recommended you." I think that's what happened, you know. I went up for Shaft too. John was trying to get me for Shaft, but the studio wouldn't approve me. I had a meeting with John for to play Shaft. The last one that Sam did. Yeah.
You was in the movie Ray too. You and Jamie, y'all had a fight for y'all role, right?
No, Jamie wasn't fighting to be in the movie. Jamie was already Ray. Jamie stood up in a meeting and said, "Hey, why is Cliff Powell not in the movie?" He said, "Well, I think he needs to get here, or it ain't gonna be no movie." So I definitely give honor to Jamie Foxx. Stood up in the meeting and said, "Why haven't we hired Cliff Powell? He was amazing." I had an audition and I cried in the audition. And when I called my manager, they said they didn't think you should have cried and you didn't get it. And so my ex-wife at the time said, "You should call Jamie." And I never called people, but I called Jamie. I said, "Jamie, they thought I was too emotional." He said, "F that, Cliff Powell, you're gonna be in this movie." And that's what happened. Jamie stood up and said, "I want Cliff Powell in this movie." And that's just a testament to how kind he is. He's amazing to work with. and just an amazing person. And you see how much outpouring of love he got when he was going through his medical challenge. You know, people love Jamie. Jamie, and I did the Jamie Foxx show back in the day. You know, so Jamie is, and of course we all friends, but Jamie has been so supportive, you know, his whole camp. So nothing but love.
And I seen you make a comment about how you and the director, y'all wasn't seeing eye to eye. What made you say that?
Because it's the truth. He wasn't, he was tough. He was tough on me. And, you know, sometimes, you know, directors just play with your brain a little bit. And I didn't know he was just trying to push me, but you don't have to push people like me. I'm trained. I'm coming to give 150 anyway. And so, you know, we had a chance to kind of, you know, at the end of the movie, which I never put in this before, I never said this, he sent me a nice card. And I think he sent me a gift with a card to say Clifton Powell, my go-to man. And it was always, because a lot of those scenes, he just threw me in and improv. But Taylor Hackford is a tough director, you know, but we worked through it. And it taught me something about, you know, about patience. But also, I think, you know, he came to respect, you know, how I move as a man. Because what happens, you know, when you're the director, man, you like the boss. And it ain't color. I don't think it was racist. It's just directors have to be dictatorial and they have to be tough. And when you get niggas like me and Jamie and Lorenz Tate and Terrence Howard and Kerry Washington and who else was at the top? I don't know why her name is escaping. You don't have to be tough on us. You don't have to be tough on us. You know, we come ready to work. Regina King, who I was thinking of, me, Regina King, Bo Keem, Terrence Howard, Lorenz Tate, we come to work, man. Kerry Washington, you don't have to be Jamie Foxx. We come every day prepared, ready to work. You don't have to be tough on us. And Taylor Hackford was tough, but I think he realized and pulled back and got it at the end.
And he was cursing you out, right?
He never cursed me out. He never cursed me. Let's be clear. He never cursed me out, but he was tough on me. He was tough on everybody. He's tough on Jamie sometimes. But I think, you know, it's just directors can be tough, man. And sometimes you got to know who you dealing with. Like I'm a real man at the end of the day. So you're not going to go but so far, bro. I don't give a heck who I'm working with. I'm trying to watch my language. You know, this is man's and woman, big people, big panties. I call them big panties and big boots. And, you know, you got to come with love and respect. And if you don't, you're going to get some pushback. And I gave him some pushback. But I think he figured it out at the end. He gave me a card and said, the Cliff Powell, my go-to guy. And we were at the bar having a drink together. It's all good. If he works with me again, he'll know, you know, I can't push this guy because I don't need to. He's there. So a lot of times directors play psychological games with people, you know? That's what I think.